All right, so imagine the entire world has just gone through a total reset. After a flood that changed everything, humanity gets a second chance. Today, we're going to dive into the brand new world order God set up with Noah. It's basically a blueprint for life, for law, and it includes a promise that would redefine the future. This is the foundation, right out of Genesis chapter 9. So let's get into what it all meant. So, you've got this clean slate. Literally the entire world is fresh and new. The big question is, what's next? What are the new ground rules for Noah, his family, and for every single creature stepping out into this brand new world?
Well, the very first instruction is one we've heard before, but wow, does it carry a different weight now. Think about it. It's a command for a complete and total restart, to fill up a world that had just been completely emptied. This was job number one for humanity's new beginning.
Okay, so humanity's first job is to get busy and repopulate the Earth. Got it. But right along with that, a new hierarchy is established. This isn't just about what people are supposed to do, it's a fundamental reordering of the relationship between us and the entire animal kingdom. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Before the flood, the human diet was all plants, green herbs, that's it. But after the flood, a massive change. God says, "Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you." And this isn't just a dietary shift, it comes with a whole new dynamic. From now on, the fear and dread of humanity is placed on all animals. They are officially in our hands.
But with all this new authority over the animal kingdom comes some pretty profound responsibility. It's not a free-for-all. Two sacred laws are put in place, and they become the moral bedrock of this new world. And you know what? They both revolve around one central idea: the incredible value and sanctity of life itself. The first rule is super specific. You can eat meat, but you absolutely cannot consume the blood. Why? Because the blood is seen as the very life force of the creature. So this isn't just some random dietary rule. It's a command to respect the essence of life, even in the animals that are now food.
And that brings us to the second and arguably the most critical law. If animal life is sacred, well, human life is infinitely more so. The penalty for murder is death, period. And the reason for that is right here. The command is explicit. If someone takes a human life, their life is forfeit. The justification is so powerful. Humans are unique because we are made in the image of God. So an attack on a person is like an attack on a reflection of God himself.
So, after laying down these new laws for life, God switches gears. He goes from giving commands to making a promise. And it's an unconditional, eternal agreement, a covenant, to make sure that the kind of global catastrophe they just survived will never, ever happen again. And what's so amazing here is just how broad this promise is. It's not just to deal with Noah and his future kids. Just look at this list. God makes this covenant with every living creature, birds, cattle, wild animals, and even with the earth itself. It's a truly all-encompassing guarantee of stability for the whole planet. But, a promise that massive, meant to last forever. How do you make sure nobody forgets it? You need a sign, right? A physical reminder that future generations can see and point to. This is called the token of the covenant, its permanent symbol.
And that token is the rainbow. It's described as God's own bow, placed in the clouds. And the text says that when God sees the bow, he will remember his everlasting promise. It's this beautiful visual guarantee for every living thing forever. Now, the story pivots. We go from this grand divine promise to something deeply human. With the new world set up, the first real moral test doesn't come from some outside threat. It comes from right inside Noah's own family, and it's all about the character and honor of his sons. So here's what happens. Noah, who's now a farmer, has a little too much to drink and ends up in a vulnerable state in his tent. His son Ham sees him, and instead of protecting his father's dignity, he runs off and gossips about it to his brothers. But check out what Shem and Japheth do. They take a garment, and in this incredible act of respect, they walk in backward, so they don't even have to look at their father's vulnerability while they cover him. The contrast in their character is it's night and day. And those actions have immediate, stark consequences. When Noah wakes up, he doesn't curse Ham directly, but rather his lineage through his son Canaan. But for Shem and Japheth, the two who acted with honor, he pronounces these incredible blessings of favor and growth. This one single moment, this one choice between respect and disrespect, literally sets the course for generations to come.
So after all these huge, foundational events, the new laws, the cosmic promise, this intense family drama, what does the rest of Noah's life even look like? Well, it becomes a long, quiet testament to the stability of this new era.
350 years. Just let that sink in. For 3.5 centuries after the flood, Noah is alive in this new world, watching it repopulate. That incredible length of time, it signifies stability and peace. He's a living embodiment of the endurance of God's promise. And to put that in perspective, Noah's total lifespan was 950 years. So yeah, the flood was a pivotal moment, but he spent more than a third of his entire life living in the world after it, under the sign of the rainbow, a long, peaceful final chapter in the world he helped restart.
So, what are the big ideas to walk away with? First, a new order between humans and animals, one of authority but also deep responsibility. Second, the absolute sacred value of life, especially human life, made in God's image. Third, an unbreakable promise for all of creation, symbolized by the rainbow. And finally, a really powerful lesson, that personal acts of honor and dishonor can have consequences that ripple out for generations.
And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. These foundational ideas about life's value, the need for justice, and the hope of an enduring promise were all established at the dawn of a new world. So, how do you see them echoing in our own modern conversations about justice, mercy, and our responsibilities to each other and the world today?